Hi, this is Jeffrey Major with Canopy Claims, and we have another Write It Right video which addresses claims and other insurance and the duplication of claims. The video addresses concerns of claiming the same item under two different insurance policies and answers the question: is making concurrent claims for the same item against two different carriers fraud? If you have a home and have a room that has wallpaper in it, let's say your living room is wallpapered, and you have a windstorm and water comes in and damages your wallpaper, and you file a homeowner's claim and you have a quote from a contractor to replace the wallpaper at $2,500, and you submit the claim or you calculate the claim with the insurance company, and they agree that there's X square footage at X dollars per square foot, and the replacement cost is $2,500. They take a depreciation of $500, and you have an actual cash value loss or actual cash value claim of $2,000, and you apply a deductible of $1,000, then your payable ACV claim would be $1,000. Had you not had a windstorm and you had a flood instead, and your wallpaper's damaged, and you file a flood claim and had a quote for $2,500, and your flood carrier agreed to $2,500, applied a 20% depreciation for an actual cash value of $2,000 less a $1,000 deductible, you would have a net payable claim of $1,000. So what happens when you have both at the same time? You have a flood claim and a wind claim. Do you choose one or the other? You can, however, it's appropriate to file a claim against both carriers for the wallpaper, a claim claiming the $2,500 less the applicable depreciation that you file. So if you file both a wind and flood claim, and the quote to replace the wallpaper for a contractor is $2,500, and both carriers agree to pay $2,500 less the applicable depreciation, less the deductible, you would wind up in the scenario that I gave you with a net payment of $2,000, and the insured would be negative $500. So what's fraud, and what part of this is fraud if the insured's not getting paid? So we have to address what insurance fraud is. And basically, insurance fraud is when an insured makes a profit on his or her own loss and is filing a claim with both fraud, or is getting paid more than what your loss is fraud. So both policies, almost all policies that exist, have other insurance clauses which address coverage under more than one policy. So both the homeowner's carrier and the flood carrier owe the undisputed ACV of the claim as defined in the language of their policy, less any payment from the other carrier, as long as the combined payments do not exceed the value of the damages defined in the policies, and the insured does not make a profit on their own loss. In the scenario of the two claims, if the homeowner's claim is a replacement cost claim and there's a depreciation of $500, the insured can file a claim for the $500 if they do the work and they meet the conditions of the policy, and they can wind up having themselves made whole. So in the case where we have claims where we have a claim against both, who pays? So payments from both carriers cannot add up to more than the loss. They also should not or cannot add up to less than the covered loss. So who pays? The other guy. And basically what happens is we have the flood carrier saying, we don't owe it, go see the wind carrier. We have the wind carrier saying, we don't owe it, go see the flood carrier. And the reality simply is that the homeowner has double insurance. They've got two different companies covering their siding, for example. And if that siding suffers both flood and wind damage, they should be able to get paid for their siding, instead of both carriers standing back and pointing at the other. either carrier can agree to pay for the whole loss, less what the other carrier pays, or they can pay their pro rata share. In condo policies, the unit owner and the condo association adjusters talk to each other all the time. They define who's paying for what. And keep in mind that if I have a flood limit of, let's say, 100,000 and I have $200,000 worth of damage, I can choose not to claim the siding against my flood carrier. And I can claim all the siding against my homeowner's policy if I have wind damage also, and vice versa. If I don't have enough coverage for my wind loss, I can claim that amount for my siding against my flood carrier. So the two carriers owe the damage between the both of them. They can't stand back and point at the others and not pay.